Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming here and giving us this chance to present ourselves. And I'm really happy that we have such a nice and diverse panel here. We are Team Elephant. This is Edward, Zhao Li, Lingling Chen, Margot, and myself, Akash Khitan. So I'll quickly take you through the business concept. So the problem that we identified was stress. We know everyone suffers from stress, or many of us do so in our day-to-day lives. Stress causes people to drop from work. It causes illnesses, depression, and loss of productivity. And this is a tremendous drain of corporate productivity. And the way we found, the solution that we found for this problem was to take different elements of different existing solutions and combine them into one powerful solution that we can give at a very affordable price for corporates. And we take wearable technology, we take meditation software such as Headspace, and we take expert workshops and we combine them into a single offering that we named Elephant Wellness. So how this works is there is this device that is connected to your that you wear on your shirt or as a necklace, and it tracks your biosignals, your breathing rate, your heart rate, things like that, and it tries to analyze how much stress you're experiencing in a very live way, and it sends that to your phone screen so you can know on a day-to-day basis like what are the different states of mind that you're experiencing, and you can constantly improve this, and you can go more towards the focus, more towards the calm, and more towards the activeness, and less towards the tense, and become more and more productive in your daily life. And the app will give you different exercises and will grow as you grow. And these are just some sample screenshots. Next slide, please. So what we did was as part of our implementation plan, we actually sat with people we don't know, and we tried to make them meditate, and we tried to understand whether it's actually helping them reduce stress. And we did this by using existing devices such as Paya to track their scientific before-after signals, and also do a self-analysis of themselves, whether they themselves feel that this is helping them and whether they would buy something like this. And we tried to 3D print some design options for prototypes just to see what kind of things people like, what kind of designs people are interested in. And this is the feedback that we got. We spoke to around 55 people, and most of them were actually willing to buy. Only a small 11 out of our total audience was not interested in buying it, but we did not really ask anyone to give us their money because we did not have something to give back to them at that time. And now we will show you our expert interview. This man here is Stephen Sokoler, and incidentally he also happens to be a friend of Professor Bruce Buckenhammer, and he is actually the CEO of Journey Meditation. He was a very successful CEO before. He will tell you about himself in the it's over here. It's working.
Okay.
So I will stop talking and I will let him introduce yourself, and you can see the highlight of the interview we had with Mr. Stephen.
Let's start the interview. So tell us about yourself. You have had a very interesting journey. So how did you get here?
Good question. I grew up in New York, in Queens, not too far from here. I was always very interested in business and how to make money, always kind of hustling and trying to come up with some new great idea. So I purchased that division in a management buyout. That was in 2007. Financial crisis hit shortly thereafter, and then when the market came back, we opened offices in London, Sydney, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Montreal, and ended up selling the company in 2014 and started my current company, Journey Meditation, in March of 2015 with the goal of helping people live happier, healthier, less stressed lives. And the longer I practice, the deeper I study, the more it helps me in new and exciting ways. A lot was less about the business, but just understanding the challenges. I think it's a great idea, and I'm sure we'll talk about that, but really being clear up front about how hard it's going to be to get all of those victories along the way that will ultimately make you successful. I'm sure if we sat and thought about it, there's some things that are more important than others. You have to have a business model that works. You have to have product market fit. You have to have a team. And that's one of the things that makes it fun. That's one of the beautiful things about building a business is that there's always new challenges to have to solve. Well, I think it would be worthwhile to figure out what would make you unique, why you versus any of the other options, and be really crystal clear on that. But I think that's kind of solid advice no matter what industry you're in. I'm assuming that once this video airs all over the world, in France and India and China, I'm going to be a big international star, and Journey's going to just explode internationally. I think you guys have a really interesting idea. Now, to go from interesting idea to successful business, there's a big gap there. But to me, it's all hard work. Network is great. It helps a little bit. It's all hard work. Like, the challenge remains that for the majority of people, meditation's weird. And it's a thing that monks do or hippies do, or it's this weird spiritual or religious thing, but there's now so much data, so much science that supports what meditation actually can do for us.
What do you think are the most essential qualities that are required in an entrepreneur today?
Hard work, clear vision, and the ability to communicate that vision clearly, concisely, and powerfully.
So there's really no shortcut. You have to be hard working.
There's probably some shortcuts, I just haven't figured them out yet.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
My pleasure.
No problem. You can just
Take two.
So in our paper research, we focus on one thing, one issue, is that people lose interest in their wearable device quickly. For example, in the US, 42% of people stop using an app after 6 months. Because they reach their goals, they know how to self-manage the app, and there are lack of engagement in the app or lack of context consideration. So our business cannot be viable if our users stop using it after 6 months. So we focus on it, and we wanted to answer this question: how to engage with customers and keep them using the app. And the main thing we found is gamification. We have to gamify some aspect of our game. So that means make badges, levels, reward, avatar, to make challenges, to boost the motivation and to make the user using longer. And one of those things, very important, is psychological relatedness. It's, for example, we take the data of the user and we compare himself with a group of friends, a group of users of a community, and make him more engaged with our application. So now we'll go in the resources in New York City with Jerry.
Then let's talk about the resources. After 4 years stay in New York, we know New York is a crazy city and amazing city. We can get everything here, and of course we can get a lot of resources. The first thing we can get, because we are a consulting company, we need software engineering support. We should develop our application. And the second resource we can get is hardware company. There are so many hardware companies can support for the device. Even this morning, I know Sherry Madden, he run a company for.
We don't make hardware. But you can
wearable
yeah.
Device. No,
yeah.
Maybe we can get some more resources, and then this is the second. Yes, and there's another hardware company named Relay, and this is not for a generalist company. This company produced very fancy and good-looking bracelet and ring. This is a smart ring and a smart bracelet, and we can cooperate with them and make our product attractive and beautiful. And then the next is the third resources we can get is meditation center. We can cooperate with most of meditation center. Even in the Manhattan Island, there are more than 30 meditation centers. We can cooperate with them. And the last two is a psychological consulting institution and the sports club. There are almost hundreds or thousands sports clubs. We can cooperate with them, connect the sports club to our customer and make our customer to manage and can solve the problem of stress. And that's the resource we can get. And then a personal.
Okay, my name is Ling Shen. Here you can see from screen. Went through the whole progress of GEP year. Actually, I feel I got the great energy and confidence from this special experience, which about my future as an entrepreneur someday, which is very I would say the most rewarding for me. Yeah, and I would not be afraid about become a serious entrepreneur. The second thing is that to think big and start small. It not exist in my before life, and because I'm not a very ambitious woman who can become a superwoman to save the world, of course. And I usually ignore the small things surrounding me because as my classmates maybe know, I come from a city in China which is famous for the textile. It's like a top class in the world. But my families and my friends and relatives did the business in this style, but I didn't recognize these resources. I mean, the existing resources. I can work on that to start my entrepreneur. So luckily, I met with the classmates, the professors, and the guest speakers, and of course the real entrepreneurs, which inspired me a lot and rethink who I am and what I have and where I can be, in the future. Especially, I found the special passion for the social entrepreneur through the personal training with the some social organizations like I don't know whether you're gonna heard about that. It's one manager of the Rose for Autism, and one founder and CEO of the Yes, she can. Yeah. So thank you.
So I'm going to be a bit repetitive, but throughout the year, I've been growing personally, and also so I learned soft skills and hard skills. I grew in self-confidence. I'm not quite there yet, but I will be maybe one day. And I was very happy to share all of this with the class. Very happy to discover China as a new country, and I learned how to communicate across cultures and get out of my comfort zone with the Effectual Entrepreneurship class.
For me, I had a really amazing year, and and this year confirmed me that I will be 100% an entrepreneur. I was inspired so much by some teachers, some classmates, some conferences I've been, and I learned also a lot of the different ecosystem of China, France, and the US. And I totally agree with Rina. It's so good to have different perspectives of the world and to be to some countries to understand how people behave and things. And also Josie, I totally agree with her when she says that there is never a good opportunity, and sometimes you just have to jump. And so that's what I'm doing. So yes, I will start a business in September. I have olive tree in south of France, and I want to use these resources. So I've been building a website for the last month in New York, an e-commerce website, and I will start it I will register the business in September and start it, hopefully the first sale in November. So,
So 1 minute is actually too less to talk about my GP experience, but what I would like to say is GP is not an experience, it's a journey that never finishes. And even after this is over, we'll be in touch and we'll keep meeting every so often. And I would like to work with all of you and we could do something great together. And I had a wonderful experience. Like, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I never had the courage to do it. And by coming in this program, I got the courage, I got the confidence. And I'm here standing in front of you, which I could never do 1 year ago, until 1 year ago. I think my time is up. Thank you so much.
For me, after 1 year study to be an entrepreneur. During the whole year, I always there is another guy. His name is Liam. Always ask me a question. How can we be an entrepreneur? And I think about this. And after 1 year, I learned a lot and I got a lot, but I didn't get the answer. And it's so difficult to answer this question. So maybe I will answer this. Think about this question during my second year. And my rest of my life. Thank you.